Well, hello and welcome back. Yes, I am back on StreamYard. Thank you to Lulu B. I have now renewed, I've now upgraded this account, so very thankful to Lulu and everybody that supports this channel. I came across a TikTok, which is why I'm live, and it's got me fascinated. In the Dancing for the Devil Reddit, oh, hello, Julianne, hello, Heather Christine. There has been this person called Chris Mack. Now, Chris Mack has stated that she is a friend of the Wilkings, and particularly, hello, Bo, particularly Kelly. And she has actually and now she's on the WOACB Reddit. So she's joined the Reddit to find out about Katie Joy. It says, I guess RS wasn't enough. She's now accusing tie-dyes. And Chris Mack says here, Katie's just trying to get her lawsuit dismissed and grow controversy to her page. A few of the bloggers who were sued have aliases and are pushing the narrative. Hello, Ruth. Hello. So it's interesting because Chris Mack will tell you by her own admission, she works in the entertainment industry. She's her daughter's manager. Her daughter's in the industry. She knows the Wilkins. She has said that Dean she has been busy, and apparently Katie Joy has even attacked this woman in her Instagram. She says, I miss when she attacked me on Instagram and I made her look stupid. Don't come in my comments and call this a stretch. So she has been criticizing somebody who knows the family very well. Chris Mack has proven and can prove that she is in fact a family friend. She was in Kelly Wilkins' wedding. So it's very, very interesting, in fact. And she is, she has actually, so this is what she says. Has Netflix told KJ to shut up, someone said here. And Chris Mack has said, in my opinion, it was Melanie and Dean's idea. Kelly is meek. Dean's loud and aggressive. He coached high school baseball and his approach is front and center. He had media contacts as well. He fed into the story as well from Kim, that's the W, Kim Rujek. I'm sure Kelly's devastated either way, to be honest. Last April when she called me because she saw my comments, she wanted to talk about it. Knowing her, I didn't call her back because I'd not heard from her in 7 years. So she has said that Dean is very aggressive and very loud. She has said that she has really stated that there's all this other stuff that goes on. And this is her TikTok, and this is what got my interest here. So this was 4 days ago. Hello, Barbara.
Hey, Chris Mack, your music and entertainment mogul. I am challenging Katie Joy to a TikTok debate. Anybody can get in touch with Katie Joy. Please pass her the message, and I would love to debate her live on TikTok. Thank you. Hey, Chris Mack.
Do you think Katie Joy would do that? Now, there's a few interesting things on her TikTok here. She says Melanie Wilkin at her sister's wedding. Miranda Wilkin at her sister's wedding next to her dad, Dean. Oddly, Mel had her wedding in Vegas, just like her sister.
Oh my God, Becky, look at her.
So I am up early today.
Okay, so she's got a whole part. So she is the manager of her daughter, apparently, her daughter's career. Well, that's right, Plan to Create, and she's taking on. Oh yeah, Lily XO is her daughter, and she's the manager of this. You know,
Here's something that people really have to understand. Nothing is what it appears that you see in a Netflix special. Nothing is what it appears with the crocodile tears of manipulative parents. Nothing is what you read. It's all manipulated for selfish gain. Every last person is in on it. Whether you want the likes, the views, all of that.
there you go.
You know, there's always one thing they say about hockey.
So there you go. She says it's not what it is. What it is. Then she's got 7M. Nothing is what it appears to be. Hey, that wasn't Miranda. That wasn't Melanie with. That's not Melanie. December 2023. Is it? Hey, that wasn't Melanie in 2023. December in Vegas. Now, she also has got a post here from 2019. 29 Halloween in Michigan. B dash and Miranda. She's got receipts.
Looks fine right. Looks fine right here.
Right. She has got. So how do you and Twitch with the Wilkings? That is in 2020. You can see Miranda is a way better dancer. Says, anyone doubting my connection to the Wilkings can stop here. This is my wedding.
So we got the cute.
Oops. Hang on, I'm not going to go back. Yeah, it is very interesting, isn't it, Mary? So, anyway, so then we've got. I've just done it. Oh, okay. So, see, she's a music manager. She's a music manager, and she does her daughter's managing. She's got this. So she says here, anyone doubting my connections to the Wilkings, this is my wedding. So, and then then we've got down here.
So we got the cutest little things. We're gonna hang these.
I need to work out how to get these to stop.
So we got.
I'm not very good at this, am I? Right. So she said, it says all those scrolls off. So this is me on stop with Goody Mob last year. This last one is my daughter whom I represent. So that's Kelly Wilkings as well. So that's her wedding. So, you know, so she's so the Wilkings. So then that's the challenge. Then she said, Robert, she could never tame me.
I just want to make a video from the cult headquarters here in Detroit, Michigan. Let me tell you this. Robert fucking can control me for nothing. Robert Shin, he would be a pimple on my ass. I don't control people either, but I know what it takes. I'm not controllable. He wouldn't have a fucking chance. Are you kidding me? Please. I just want to make a video from the cult.
Okay, so, and then, that's what that was about. Anyway, so that's some of the stuff that she's posted on
So I just wanted to address again to the people that seen my post that say I'm with Shakita Church. I'm sorry, but that sounds like a black lesbian name, and I would not participate in organized religion. I don't participate in organized religion. You know why? Because I'm a recovering Catholic. I was raised with all that crammed up and down my throat. I've done catechism, I've done all that, and when the church should have been there for my parents when my brother's suicide, they weren't there. And the people in the membership of that congregation were complete buttheads to my mom and dad. And it's a whole lot of dramatic situation that I just I don't need that. I will practice my faith the way I want. And I don't believe in the way a lot of parents are handling their business because I had an overbearing, controlling mother. So I see the signs. I know how to react, and I've changed with my children. In my day, we get the tar beat out of us. Not anymore.
So anyway, so she does a little bit.
So boy,
but I would agree with you to some extent. But what I'm finding really interesting is that she's very vocal about she's very vocal about a lot of the stuff about Katie Joy and correcting some of the misinformation out there. I think one of the interesting things that she said was that it's not everything of what you can see. Well, she's a recovering Catholic. I mean, they do have that in common, correct? So I was just looking at her, looking up and discovered a TikTok and saw this challenge for Katie Joy, and I thought, wow, this would be very interesting. So, because apparently we're back to saying that Miranda, now we're saying that arranged marriages, even if legal, are wrong. Well, she's changed everything again. She has reported on the Chrisley stuff as well. Hello, Colleen. So here's the thing: do you think that KJ would actually take up the debate? Now, I don't know whether, as part of their settlement case for the lawsuit, whether she's actually allowed to report on anything they do. Now, someone did actually point out the statement that she made to say that she wouldn't talk about him, and I've got that on my phone. I haven't transferred it here unless I can find it on here. So let's look at these stories. Some of these stories are interesting. Now, she's put this up. Matthew Shin, you have been served. Beware of this guy. Once he knows he'll get from you, he stops working something. I don't know what that is. I can't see it. But what is he being served with? Because he's already part of the lawsuit in California, so he would have had his documents. Is there another lawsuit? What on earth has he been deposed? Has he been given a subpoena? Like, what has he been served? Like, what does any of this mean? Hello, short order. Beware of this guy. Once he knows he'll get permission from you, he stops working. You're on your own. File a complaint on DRE. So obviously someone's saying that he's not a very good real estate agent, I guess. But I don't know what this comment is in. Just to put that up on your page, what does it mean? Is he being served coffee? Because I tell you what, if it was you being served coffee, I'm there. Hello, ghetto country. So I don't know what any of this means in this context. What on earth is she talking about? To be fair, if somebody knows, please let me know. So does everybody think that? So people think Katie Joy wouldn't debate Chris Mack? Because if she grew up with the Wilkings and she knew Kelly Wilkins' first marriage and first husband, and if she knew and she knows Dean, how can Katie Joy discount anything that she says? What, because Kelly Wilkins said not to listen to her? Look, whenever someone says to me, don't listen to somebody, it always piques my interest because I always wonder why they don't want you to talk to somebody. So I talk to them. Because that's what I do. If you're just going to tell me not to talk to somebody. Hello, SD. Hello, everybody that's coming in. So we've got this again. After Tie-Dye's rejection to battle, after I confronted him about a diss and a moment of self-reflect, I have realised I can't pay attention or do business with people whom I've lost respect for. How people do business is a reflection of their being. That being said, I will not participate in any future battles with Tie-Dyes, even if money is negotiated on both ends. I'm going against the integrity of my brand. I'd kindly ask sending me snapshots and recording of Tie-Dyes saying anything about me to bring it to a halt. Thank you. Let's continue to grow. Crump. And it says Concrete. So I don't know who's that. I'm assuming that's Concrete that did that. So she's got the Chrisley stuff in there. Don't tell Kevin to forgive and move on. Tie-Dyes is facing serious allegations from multiple women and he's loyal to Robert Shin, an alleged cult leader and R. Flashback to 2020 when Tie-Dyes talks about SA happening in women. I'm not going to turn that. Continuing to be super culty Roberto. Robert is exposed for arranging Miranda and James's marriage. His friends call him out and Robert directs them to a photo kissing, which they literally never do. How does Katie Joy know whether they kiss or not? Is she in their bedroom? How do you know just because you don't see somebody? But you're right, she wouldn't be able to control the narrative, so she wouldn't do it. How do you know what they do? So kissy for, well, she's saying apparently they don't ever kiss. But how does she know? I don't know how she has all this time stalking the bedroom of the Duggars, stalking the bedroom of the Browns, stalking the bedroom of B Dash and Miranda. No wonder she's never home. No wonder she's not got time for V. She's in everyone else's bedrooms. Well, you're not the first person to talk about the fact of that. Robert tells people that God wants them married and he marries them in his living room or at a dining table. So arranged marriages are actually illegal. So are they real couple? How is an arranged marriage illegal? So she's saying, so he marries them in his living room or at a dining room table. I don't believe that there's ever any law as to where you can get married. Now, I did read something that in California, personal details are actually confidential, and so part of the reason why she was wanting the marriage certificate was to find out whether they are actually married or not, because she can't get it. They're not easily to obtained, so she can't find out about any of these marriages, and that's what's killing her. That's what she can't cope with. But there's nothing wrong with getting married at a kitchen table or in a dining room. Why do several of Jane's friends keep saying that he doesn't want to be with Miranda? Are they friends? Given that Alison hasn't spoken to the families or victims, she'll continue to disappoint you. She knows they're in a cult. People have begged her to stand up for the victims and she won't. Yeah, how dare she want? Well, that's right. How dare? I mean, why should they have to? Why should they have to prove that they're married? That's got nothing to do with the allegations against Robert Shin or even against their complaints about her. The latest short posted by Tie-Dye's YouTube channel is literally filmed in the torn apart, broke down church. This is so culty. Robert wants 20K for people to battle him. Anna says, I know plenty of people that got married in backyards. Lots of people do get married in backyards. Free Kendra, apparently.
Right here next to eyes, judging. He don't like it. He don't like it. Yup. EBS. Right here next to eyes.
So that really makes me want to support that. You got married in a mall? Tie-Dye's is at an event. Crumper is calling him out because he's pouting about having to judge with him. Pretty much everyone is tired of tiger eyes. Poor Kendra. Hang on a minute.
Yes. Right here next to eyes.
That's
judging. He don't like it. He don't like it.
Well, so why is he allowed out then? Well, arranged marriages aren't illegal as long as there's as long as there's been consent. Because at the end of the day, my one daughter's friend is in an arranged marriage from Sri Lanka. I know India still does a lot of arranged marriages, but I have a confidential marriage license in California because I didn't want to have it. Yeah, so for me, it's just really bizarre. It doesn't mean that it's not consensual. Who said this? Why? Oh my goodness, I don't name anyone that doesn't want to be named. So anon. So someone wants to know who said it. She says she's not going to name anyone that doesn't want to be named, which means she's not going to say it. It's the voices in her head again. All right, hang on. I just But see, remember, it was deemed by the court that her having their marriage or finding out whether they were really married was nothing. A lot of it looks photoshopped, in my opinion. So she's not going to name her sources. I mean, look at all his friends and previous the Crump World lifestyle talk. She doesn't really. Oh, here we go. She doesn't really fit into the mold, even if she's a dancer. No, that's not why being forced to marry someone you just started dating because your cult leader says so will kill any relationship. No, that's not why. Being forced to marry someone you just started dating because no, so she's saying that they only started dating early on, but Chris Mack shows photos of them actually being together in 2019. That shows a completely different picture. That means that they didn't, that they were together before KJ says they were. James is a great dancer. They just have different skills. Coerced, illegal marriages arranged by a cult leader destroy intimacy. Their relationship is fake, and while there may be a marriage license, their marriage is basically illegal. Fake, coerced. You can literally see in their videos, interactions and dances. He acts like he wants nothing really to do with her. At any rate, she's much a better dancer than he is, and it shows, and I think it bothers him. How can you have a marriage license and then call the marriage illegal? Because if you have a marriage license, it means it's legal. The only people that can talk about whether they were forced to marry each other are the two people themselves. It's not for me to say. But I don't know. She says James is a great dancer. They just have different skills. Coerced, illegal marriages destroyed by a but this comment makes no. There may be a marriage license. Their marriage is basically illegal. What's illegal about it? They have a marriage license. Can someone make this make sense? That's right. He's been awkward on camera now. Sussy toting cat and well, that's right. And we don't ever see them kiss. I'm sure people don't see them kiss either. I mean, you've got to be in the same room for that to happen, don't you? She is really saying he wants nothing to do with her, correct? That's what she said. Because somebody told her and she won't say who told her. Oh, that was the most awkward. That was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. So I just, yeah, I'm really not sure what to even think about. Because I would never ever say that somebody's marriage is illegal unless there was really big proof. But you're starting to think KJ, Mr. KJ, and just some real. Well, you know, there is some stuff, some weird stuff. So this says, I'm surprised you didn't delete these comments. This is from the Reddit. This quick Mac wrote, I'm laughing because I reported one of Katie Joy's video and it got a strike on it. The thing with social media, the elite artists that draw the strikes don't always mean takedowns, like for small accounts. For myself, once I reach a certain amount of followers, it only meant it wasn't visible to algorithms, not always taken down like before. The whole reason for stunts, and Katie sees it herself, is to draw viewers. Anything that's sensationalized draws viewers. She seems to forget she's been sued by Miranda too. She better have evidence for court, says plaintiff Claire. So Chris Mack is implying here that essentially this is all for KJ's to get views from. And then she says, oh, excuse me. And here's another interesting comment. This is from the Dancing for the Devil Reddit. She said, there's a lot off in the documentary to what I know to be true. So much is twisted and blown out of proportion and being used to push Melanie's TikTok and brand. Miranda's not acting much different than Kelly did with her mother when she married her first husband, Steve Barron, in 1988 after a short courtship. Like mother, like daughter with this. So, again, this Chris Mack, who has been friends with Kelly Wilkings since school, is saying that Miranda is essentially acting like her mother did when she got married. So, again, and she says there's a lot off. Well, that's right. So, and again, here's another comment. Oh, just that Chris Mack, a childhood friend of Kelly Wilkings, has asked KJ to debate her. She says, again, she's an adult. It's not her parents' right to bully her into coming. That's toxic. If she felt she had to lie because it's their responses, calling her a lowlife is a lowlife move. She has a free will as an adult on her own on the other side of the country for 7 years. As far as picking someone up, if she is extracting with Melanie, she would still need to get her. So, again, she was living on the other side of the country for 7 years. And she's proven if then she was with her when she wasn't in a cult on the compound living. So what was that discussion for? So her sister was physically with her. They were supposed to fly home together when her sister confronted her in person, like, well, she was one that just don't want to agree. I want to agree privately and don't want to go. So admitted she didn't have COVID. Her sister told her parents that they weren't trying to get a COVID positive person on the plane. They were trying to catch her out in her lie and find out why she really didn't want to go. Well, if this is true, she was with her, then she wasn't in a cult on the compound living thing. So this Chris Mack is really throwing a lot of I guess hand grenades. Can't wait for Instagram to be hacked again. And then to the pizza comment, she's written, anyone got her address, I'll send her an in-person dancing Robert Chin lookalike to sing to her on her doorstep. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine having that there? See, the thing is, Miranda's got 300,000 new followers. Views are more important than the lawsuit. She knows they're married. Yeah. So, what's this say? Yeah, so this was Lydia, I think. And was critical because they didn't talk. Well, as I said, so and again, according to KJ, if you get married in a kitchen or in your backyard, you're not really married then, are you? Do you know? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people call it the Shekinah cult, which is what it should have been titled, not the 7M cult. We know that. So 100K more followers, KJ will be having antibodies. Correct. She won't be happy about that. That's for sure. Be married to people in other people's yards. You just need someone officiating that's recognised. Well, that's right. You can get married wherever you like, as long as essentially in Australia, as long as you have a marriage celebrant sign the documentation, you can have anybody conduct the ceremony. You just need the person to sign the official paperwork. So in Australia, you have to give an intention to marry 30 days before you actually get married. You just can't decide 1 minute just to get married. You actually have to give notice. Oh, we got another letter. Oh, no, that's not it. Is this it? Oh, yeah, no, this is the one. No, I was going to say, I just got excited because I thought there was another filing on the court, but no, then I just remembered it was the correspondence where they go, we do believe these events are related to this case, but we do not know whether there is evidence linking defendants to these events. My wife has married people in various places that aren't churches. Correct, Will. That's right. That's right, where she said, but we do not know if there's evidence linking to Katie Joy. That's right. I remember that one. Well, as I said, she's sort of made that, she gave the impression that if you got married, let me find it for you. She's always investigating and seeking the truth, apparently. Yeah. Look at this. Yeah. Robert tells people that God wants them married and he marries them in his living room or at a dining room table. So arranged marriages are actually illegal. She really, she's posted that picture of them kissing several times. So as I said, and then it's about, apparently they have a marriage license, but it's apparently the marriage is fake. So well, considering I was saying that somebody was saying that marriage records are confidential in California, so that's why she's not really happy about it. Both must enter the marriage freely, not be forced in any way. Uh, 90 days is the marriage license. As long as the person can understand what their obligations are to the person they marry, they assume to be of sound mind. So, well, I would too, because she can't have evidence, apparently. Half of marriages worldwide are arranged, according to Brides magazine. Oh, look at this. This was last year. It is estimated over half of marriages worldwide are arranged, and that over 20 million of those unions exist in the world today. A surprising fact, given that we almost never hear about arranged marriages unless we're discussing their famously low divorce rates. But are low divorce rates a sign that arranged marriages work? So yes, consensual arranged marriages are legal in the US, per the US Citizen and Immigration Services, which is interesting because KJ had stated that arranged marriages were illegal. So this is a forced marriage, difference. An arranged marriage is a common practice in many cultures and is not the same as a forced marriage. In an arranged marriage, families play a role in choosing the marriage partner, but both individuals are free to choose whether or not to marry and when to get married. A forced marriage happens when families or others not only arrange the marriage, but also deny the individuals to be married the ultimate choice of whether and when and whom they marry. So yes, there is a difference between an arranged marriage and a forced marriage. And an arranged marriage is still legal. A forced marriage is not. Then between human trafficking, which is also accused him of doing, and a forced marriage. Human trafficking involves exploiting someone to compel a commercial sex act or forced labor. It must include force, fraud, or coercion to be considered human trafficking. So here's the thing. Katie Joy's accused Robert Shin of human trafficking. Have we seen evidence of there being a commercial or forced labour? Have we seen any evidence of force, fraud, or coercion? Forced marriage and human trafficking are distinct forms of abuse. While both forced marriage and human trafficking are forms of abuse that exploits the victim, not all forced marriages involve human trafficking. So there you go. So we know that arranged marriages are okay. Again, it says arranged marriages and forced marriages are not the same. The government is opposed to forced marriage. It is illegal in several states. In all states, those who force another person to marry will be charged with violating state laws, ranging from domestic abuse to kidnapping. While divorce rates hover around 40 to 50%, divorce rate for arranged marriage is 4%. In India, there is an estimated 90% of marriages arranged. Divorce is only 1%. Then you have to ask Miranda, was she forced to marry? And then KJ's story goes down the drain and everything falls apart. Well, I mean, there is that point. Do you know of any lawful impediment? Why? I mean, and that is the point of some of the vows, is to make sure that it's sort of consent. Despite KJ's mental status, she isn't very bright, doesn't realise that there is a difference. So then there's the thing about Vita, how to do arranged marriages, how they work. I'm going to put a link here so you can look at that for yourself. Oh, Princess Anne has been taken to hospital. I'm just reading this. Princess Anne in hospital after sustaining concussion and minor injuries, head injuries, says Buckingham Palace. She sustained minor injuries and concussion following an incident at Gatcombe Park Estate on Sunday. She remains in Southmead Hospital, Bristol, as a precautionary measure for observation. She's expected to make a full, swift recovery, said the palace. Wow. I'm wondering whether she fell off a horse short order. It's just come through, like it's just coming through now, and they go, we have reporters. What do they say? They go, this is a journalist is currently gathering information because it's straight hot off the press. I'll just show it to you so you can see. See, we're adding to this story. So I reckon she had to have fallen off a horse. So, yeah. All right, so let's go back to that. So anyway, arranged marriages are still okay as long it happens with Orthodox Jews as well, although she's implying that Miranda couldn't fall in love. No, she's implying that James doesn't like Miranda. Because she keeps saying, several friends keep saying that James has said he doesn't want to be with Miranda. Oops. Yes, Anne's the oldest, isn't she? Princess, yes. She's the oldest. And the Queen Elizabeth changed the rules now so that Charlotte actually can be ahead of Louis in the line of succession. So that's one good thing. She's made sure that Charlotte doesn't, doesn't miss out. Princess Anne is 73. Oh, sorry, she's 75, and the King's 73. Oh no, he had no Charles and no Charles is the oldest. Huh? No, sorry, I'm confused. They haven't said what's happened. They just said, yeah. So, sorry, she's the second. Princess Anne is the second child, and the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II. She was third in line of the throne, now 17th. So Charles is the oldest. Sorry, I messed it up. I thought he was second, but so she's 73. She's 73 and the King's 75. Sorry, there's two years between them. Yeah. You know, one thing that never made sense, KJ says RS uses dancers to making money, so why would he force them to marry single? They would be heartthrobs. Well, that's right. Now, I also was reading, and I'm trying to find it in the Reddit, but somebody had said that Tie-Dyes may not have ever been properly married to his first wife, which would be interesting, but I don't know. I don't know who's married to who's divorced to who. They haven't said what's happened, Max facts. They just said that she's in hospital with concussion and minor injuries. So yeah, possibly. I mean, it was. Yeah. Well, that's right. She uses her married name in it, and they swore in the affidavit that they were married. So why would they swear in an affidavit that they were married if they weren't married? I just don't understand. Because they want to be named. They want to be named anonymously. Now, I actually saw it on I saw. Oh yeah, I want to show you something. I haven't seen this, so we're going to watch it together. This was 2 weeks ago. I just happened to see this, so we're going to have a look at this. This was on Australian TV. All right, Australian TV. So this is 9 today. Dancing for the Devil is a new Netflix that has exposed an alleged cult We talked to the director and a former dancer to find out more. Now, you might actually find a comment from yours truly, or unless they deleted it, that said, hang on. Oops, sorry. My podcast just rendered. Oops. My podcast just rendered. Oops. All right. See whether my comments here. Oh, here I am. I said a close family friend has backed Miranda's claims and said Dad is controlling. Also, 2 in the documentary left before 7M started in 2021. Anyway, so that's what I put, and that's what I've just said. Yes, and she said she's a close family friend. But anyway, this is a 6-minute interview from Australia. So let's see what happens. I haven't seen it. Okay. Oh, no audio. Okay, thank you. All right, let's try it again. Also share audio. Let's try it again.
Found the dancers. He saw all this
Talent manager and alleged.
Can you get that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that or not?
Cult leader.
7M, an entertainment.
Yep, cool. All right, so we're going to watch this, and then I'll nearly have to call it a night too. So I've got to get up early. Ugh, I hate these early starts.
A pastor who's turned himself into a talent manager and alleged cult leader.
7M, an entertainment company founded by Robert Shin, who's also the pastor of LA-based Shekinah Church.
This is a church, but they're also a management company. I just felt a little funny about that.
Oh, that one scene out of her mouth there just makes my skin crawl.
when he found the dancers. He saw all this an opportunity to be like the world famous social media talent manager.
Social media, it was new. Like, man, I can do this and get money from my art. I want to do this.
He would always share whenever someone would get a deal.
All this money, it's all going to Robert.
It started out fairly innocuous, but the control slowly grew.
This is a cult.
Yeah, it is a great watch, and we are joined live by a former member, Aubrey Fisher, and the documentary's director, Derek Deneen, live from Los Angeles. Thanks for being on the show, guys. Derek, we want to start off with you, because the dancer at the centre of this documentary, Miranda, she has since come out with a response in the last few days. Let's just have a look at that.
Oh, wait on. Oh, the dancer at the centre of the documentary. Who said it wasn't about Miranda?
The dancer at the centre of this documentary, Miranda, she has since come out with a response in the last few days. Let's just have a look at that first.
But before this documentary, my husband and I, we felt safe. Now that this documentary is out, we feel like our lives have been put in danger. And I honestly don't understand how my parents and my sister thought that this documentary would help me or would help our relationship in any way.
So, wow. Derek.
Yep, and the director is right there. Yes, she'll order cook. Well, this is interesting because now we're going to hear what the director's got to say.
Just listening to that, and what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it makes me sad. I think if people are attacking her online and sending hateful messages, that's really the worst response. And nobody should be made to feel unsafe, especially her. And I'm just sad for the family. I know that they did this out of desperation. They felt like they had tried every possible avenue to sort of reach her and get her back in their lives in a meaningful way, as you see in the show. And, all of those attempts were futile ultimately. And so this was really the last grasp. And I hope that if she watched it, because I'm honestly not sure if she has, but if she did or if she does, that she can see that it was coming from a deep place of love and hope for reconciliation.
But she has, I think they've all missed the point there where she said, I don't know how they thought this was going to help, but the show misrepresented the family dynamics and the relationship. And that's the point. But here's the thing, Short Auto Cook, was he, as the director, fed incorrect information from his archival consultants?
And I think what you do well in the documentary is actually put out the case of why this is a cult and other people involved, not just Miranda and the dancers. But Aubrey, this is where you come in. You were managed by 7M from its development. You're a great dancer. You're getting Toyota commercials. You're on Ellen. Was there a sense of loyalty to them from you?
There was actually, I mean, when you're in there, it's all about loyalty. It's all about submitting to your mentors and Robert and what you do and what you don't do. And so everything else that we were doing, it was all going to them, to be honest. We were a part of 7M. It was a management company. It was a lot of dancers. I mean, think about it. It was 12 of us. So we had a lot of dancers to.
There was 12 of them, all of this garbage for 12 people? She's putting her family at risk for 12 people?
Put in for like jobs and etc. to like help each other out. But yeah, as far as like being there, I felt like it was loyalty to the people that we were part of at first. And I thought it was something that was just, all about just love and caring and whatnot. But it just came out to be something that was bigger than that. So
when did you realize or start to think that something just wasn't right?
When things started shifting, there was a lot of things that were changing up. He wanted us to be out more to show.
What does a meaningful way actually look like in a family relationship? Interesting, Barbara. Interesting question. Yeah, the angle they took was to focus on the family yearning, the emotional pull, the Netflix dollar angle. Correct. And look, it's worked because there's so many people that if you read the comments of everybody that's watched it, they feel for Miranda's parents.
The world or our stories or Instagram, whatever, on social media, that we were with our families, that we're okay, just to slow things down a bit. And there were schedules that was being changed, and we had service days on certain days, but then it'll be switched to like another day, so that
your roster's changed. That happens in real life too.
way people won't know that we'll go to the service day that we'll normally go to, actually. And so everything was just very vague. It was different. Nobody wanted to we weren't doing what we were normally doing. So everything started shifting. We started signing NDAs, and a lot of things were very different. It was very strange.
Maybe there was some outside influences that were trying to batten down the hatches. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Dancing with the devil, devil's advocate. See the pun? That's called management, and that's because of the aspects of well, yes, that's right. Short order, you would know that. You would know that sometimes you've got a venue booked and then something happens and you've got to change the venue and the day and everything. It's called management. So apparently that's what's made it a cult, Short Order.
Did you have to hand over like a lot of the cash that you were earning to the church?
Sorry, say that again.
Did you have to hand over a lot of the money that you were earning from the church? Was that part of what they expected?
So this is the thing. We had 20% management fee that we had to pay to 7M. And then a part of the church, we had the 10-10-10, which is the 10% tithes, 10% offerings, and 10% man of God. So those all together came about 50%. And most of the time, we'll all give more, because he'll preach the more you give, the more you will receive. He'll preach about that, like that's in the Bible. And so it was more so just things that we wanted to receive. We were all just invested because we wanted to get closer to God. And so that was like one of our main things that we wanted to do was give. But But yeah, it was just more so giving to the church and to the management.
And that's what happens with these cults or churches that become cults, like Derek, as you point out in this documentary. It then it takes people and takes advantage of them, like Derek and like Miranda and other dancers who are involved in this too. Now that this is blown up on Netflix, now you're getting so much response. Are more people coming to you as well? Is this documentary achieving what you set out to achieve?
It's raining in wardrobe is missing, transport didn't turn up. Director say another. That's right. But what he was talking about, I don't think is like a big deal. It just sounds like it's management, which is what he had a management company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very.
Go ahead, Derek.
So I don't know. I'm very encouraged by the response so far. You know, some of the larger conversations that started around high control groups and cults and red flags, things to look out for, whether we should be legislating against coercive control. All of those things are really great, you know, but ultimately I'm just kind of blown away by the courage of Aubrey and all the others who are brave enough to share their story. I hope that it inspires others who might find themselves.
Do you reckon that they've been paid? God, I don't think Aubrey's very clear.
In a similar situation, and that doesn't necessarily even have to mean a high control group. You know, it could be a controlling partner in a domestic relationship.
But high control group, how are you going to legislate between a high control group? Entertainment industry is a high control group. You have schedules and deadlines. It has to be highly controlled. Sports is highly controlled.
That people take strength from those who are able to extricate themselves and start a new chapter in their own lives. And I've already heard a lot of anecdotes, you know, people who, you know, say that they were inspired, say that, you know, they feel like they have a connection to Aubrey and others, and that means the most.
Yeah, well, it's a great documentary.
It
We
really
enjoyed it. So congratulations on that, Derek and Aubrey. Thanks for coming on the show and giving us your insight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And Dancing for the Devil is out now on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really good. Check it out.
Well, I still haven't watched it. I don't really have a desire to, because everything that I've seen hasn't really inspired me. Yeah, I don't know. 20 plus. I don't know how they get to their numbers. They'd be starving artists. Well, they would have been starving artists on their own, because don't forget they also got housing. They got housing and they got food and they got clothing. What did they? Although did they mention at all through the interview the word cult? Not really. No, the director didn't mention cult. He mentioned high control group. Hello, cheap glass. I mean, Aubrey in that interview didn't really come across to me as being convincing. Sure, Order Cook says no. That's interesting, isn't it? Yes, and that's what I'm saying. A high control group is different to and it's also different to a cult, because there are lots of high control groups out there that have to be high control. And entertainment management, I would assume, is a high control group, would be deemed a high controlled group. I also found it very interesting that how the director answered Miranda's comment, the comment about Miranda's statement as well, was very, very carefully worded, wasn't it? No, we haven't seen any contract. We've seen no contract. So it looks like as if the director is not mentioning the word cult for fear of oversetting. Or what's the title and the suggestion? Again, it's not. When was this written? So this is exposing 7M, and apparently it says, it's been confirmed by Conrad that Chloe was Miranda's mentor. Conrad and I have talked often about his feelings towards his siblings. Conrad wants it to be known that he believes his siblings are blameless and should not be culpable because of their loyalty to Robert Shin. That's interesting. He put on a Facebook post that he that Hannah was evil. This is part of our concept between Chloe and Miranda before Chloe and Daniel packed up and left. It's been reported that Chloe wanted Miranda to come with them, but Miranda did not join them. Chloe allegedly denied knowing anything bad was ever taking place at Shekinah, but if this is truly the case, why would she try to convince Miranda to leave too? Did she know something no one else? She also denied driving Miranda around and spending most of the time together, although Conrad states Chloe showed Miranda a selflessness he'd never seen from his sister before. Miranda was even included in their brother-sister time, according to him. Conrad goes on to say that if Chloe did see anything wrong take place at Shekinah, she would not speak up because of fears of the father. No, I've not heard anybody. I've not heard the director call Robert a cult leader. No, I haven't. This led to conversations about Shin's alleged intimidation against his own children. These texts were shared with permission. So, here we go. KJ only shared half of it. It's widely shared opinion of people who are familiar with the group that Matthew is the new right-hand man of Robert now that Daniel left. He's also the mentor to men at the church. When it comes to Shekinah's housing, Matthew uses his real estate license to do those deals, including the condo Miranda and James are living in now. How could they be living in a house that the evidence that KJ showed that another company was in charge of its leasing? He's allegedly been arranged to marry 2 women at Shekinah, both of whom did not want to be with him and ultimately ended up leaving the church. So therefore, Matthew's allegedly one of the most loyal followers of Shin. His real last name is not Shin. He changed it to belong to Robert's family. At 15, he was put into the hands of Robert and people who were there, so it's practically a father-son relationship. According to an info page on one of their realty websites, Matthew started in real estate at the age of 19. Allegedly, when a man left the church in recent years and described Robert's actions as sex trafficking on the way out, this is written like KJ. Matthew, acting as a man's mentor, tried to gaslight him by telling him he's the same as Robert if he's ever had sex outside a marriage. In my opinion, Robert is not even a decent realtor. He has been reported as being mediocre, even while working for people he knows. So left the church unmarried. Left church unmarried. Correct. According to the cross complaint filed by Alicia, clients did not trust Matthew would call Miss Lee for showings as well as explanations and negotiations. Multiple occasions while working with Miss Lee at RCP and Alpha, Matthew physically assaulted Miss Lee, grabbing her by the arm and pushing her, verbally berating her in the middle of showing apartments to potential clients and humiliating her. Shekinah is all Matthew knows, but that's the only excuses so much. I wonder if people he just sold property to are aware of his involvement at Shekinah and the allegations against him. This is not someone I would personally ever want to work with. Disclaimer, info gathered from reports of former members and is alleged or opinion based on that info. And then Katie Joy steps in. Matthew Shin is allegedly known to be an extremely lazy and inept realtor. He's now forced to carry the entire real estate team for Robert. He will run this into the ground because Alicia and the other woman that left did all the work for the team. Shirley Kim is worthless as a realtor as well. She's too overextended and they don't list homes anymore. He's lazy with works, but he's diligent following the man of God. So there you go. She had to put her 2 cents worth in. But I don't know. I still don't know what the picture's got to do with any of that, because he is part of that lawsuit.
Because if you're not broken, and if you already have things going for yourself, whatever, he likes people. He likes to take people that have nothing, so that way he can just like put you on a pedestal like this and just baby you.
I'd like to know. Aubrey goes on to speak about how the 2 years he spent there felt like 30 years due to how the group operated. He states they were with each other 24/7. He also had 2 Bible studies a week and 2 services a week. The person in the background asks if he never got tired and wanted to do something different. And he states if he was at the church alone, it would have been different, but being with friends and his sense of community made it easy to trust what's going on around him. Again, all of this is important to get an insight of how someone may be wrapped into something. High control groups don't look scary when they're being presented to a potential recruit. They look warm and inviting and may make you feel like you belong somewhere. All information. So interesting. So again, it's still referred to as on a high control group. See, Concrete spoke in the documentary apparently about being a starving. It says Concrete talks in the documentary about being a starving artist and how easily the promise of opportunity can influence somebody. He wasn't a starving artist when he was with 7M, was he? So anyway, I just wanted to give you all of that sort of stuff. And as I said, there has been a challenge for Katie Joy to go and debate Chris Mack on TikTok. As I said, I'd be very interesting to see what happens. I would be very surprised if she did, but I would like to watch it. So on that, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining me. StreamYard, as I said, I've got the full StreamYard. I'm going to set this up with, see the StreamYard symbol's gone now. I can have my own symbol. So I'm going to be setting this up properly and better and get it all sorted out. But thank you for founder of Creator. Yes, so thank you for joining me. Look, I'm hoping to be on again. I'm trying to get on every night at the moment. Now I don't have a restriction, and we'll see how we go. I need to talk about the Bruce Lerman case, keeps giving and giving, because do you know that both Channel 10 and Lisa Wilkinson had issues with the judgment, as well as Bruce Lerman? It's quite bizarre that even the people that won the judgment aren't happy with all of the judgment. I just don't understand it. But anyway, but yes, I'm hoping to be on tomorrow night. I'm going to try and set it up so that you get notification. But sometimes I just find things and go, I got to talk about it. So I saw the video from Chris Mack on TikTok, and I went, right, we need to talk about this. So anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I will catch you again next time. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to join the choir, and that's one way that you can support me on a regular basis. Anyway, bye for now.